To what purpose? Kid Copious back in the bumper. Purpose State Party. No, I'm plowing ahead, man. I'm on like take 7 right now. I can't do this anymore. I'm just really upset. I thought today was going to be a bouncy, joyous little day. Kind of just be light and breezy. Talk about Solar Opposites on Hulu. Great show. Not sponsored by them at all. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that when you have more videos than viewers. But that's what I wanted to talk about. You know, I was hoping for some better news. But it's not. I mean, it's still a mess here in California. You know, people can't get their unemployment. My family can't get their unemployment, which is just really fun for me because now I'm working amongst this scary disease and, you know, getting less out of life. But whatever. You know, we're at the point now where something has to be done because this is just crazy. You know, it all stems from what's coming out right now. You know, how after years of accusing President Trump of collusion with Russia, we're starting to get like hints and proof that Obama and the Democrats were the ones that were colluding with the Russians. And God knows who else. I mean, and there's stuff on tape and in print. I mean, they went as far as to concoct a report that led to warrants so they could railroad people. I mean, I get it. Like, you want to win, you want to be in power, but we need to draw the line at, like, crime. You know, we can't say that it's okay to do that. We didn't when it happened to Nixon. You know, they broke into a hotel room and bugged it. You know, he was gone. He had to leave. You know, we're getting to this point now where the current Democrats are either going to be destroyed or America is. Because their latest thing to take advantage of this whole COVID thing is just more of them trying to garner either the way to rig elections through like the mail-in ballots or to like get the votes from people who aren't even supposed to be here, who aren't supposed to even vote. That's what they want to do. They want to give illegal aliens checks. And it's the crazy thing is you can understand the sentiment behind it. I get that part of it. But, first of all, how are you supposed to do this? I mean, that's like when the police set up a sting and say that somebody won free shoes and they show up to collect the shoes and they're arrested. Except here, when they show up as being in this country illegal to collect a check, you're not going to arrest them. You're going to, in fact, go as far as to stop all deportations. But to what gain? I don't understand. I other than to garner votes, I don't get that. You know, they want to up the amount of immigrants who can come to this country right now on visas for health care. I mean, we've got the workers here. I don't understand that. I mean, why are we not, you know, coming up with a scheme to get people trained? You know, free training for that. Why isn't that something that's being broadcast far and wide? You know, we get to know exactly what Jenner's sister wore in some sort of birthday card or whatever, but they won't just give us information like that, like how to get back to work as a healthcare worker somehow. You know, maybe they could fast track some people who maybe made it so, you know, halfway through and couldn't finish. I don't know. I mean, you could look at that and work with something like that and try to help out Americans, not try to give away more jobs to people coming in. And, you know, my grandfather immigrated here, so I'm not far removed from it. I understand it, but now is not the time for that. You know, we have to be realistic. You know, we have to be realistic. But again, why this push for the immigrants? Let's just say that there is some sort of deep, dark plan. Let's just say, you know, these people are coming in from places that have oppressive governments. So they'll fit in with this democratic oppression that they seem to be savoring right now. You know, these people won't care as much when their civil liberties are stripped away. You know? And even if they do, they can't really return home either. That could be a dangerous situation, especially for people who are here under asylum. They can't just turn around and go back. But I think part of it, too, is that Since America became America, it was done by patriots. You know, this was a country and a freedom and an opportunity earned by brave warriors in the 1700s. People died. It wasn't some sort of like, they didn't play a game of Monopoly and we won. No, it was blood. There was bloodshed. You know, truth be told, I believe we lost more battles than we won. But we were too determined, and England was too far away, and we ended up winning, and we've maintained it. You know, our in my blood is the same blood of people like Payne, Washington, Franklin, Jefferson, all those farmers. Yeah, my lineage doesn't come from necessarily here. You know, but this is where I was born. These are the ideals I grew up worshiping. You know, I mean, I became a Patriots fan because one day I was asked what team I liked, and I said the one with the Minuteman. You know, and I wasn't very old at the time, but it just stuck with me, you know. And then the Rams bailed on me, and then, you know, whatever. But anyhow, that's way off topic. But our military has kept our freedom, and it keeps us safe, and the Democrats, I'm sure, will cut it. And you got to keep in mind, they want you to think of the military as a guy with a gun violating the civil rights of a civilian in some other country. But that's not the truth. That is not the truth. That rifle is built by somebody. That aircraft carrier. Can you imagine how many jobs there are in an aircraft carrier? Both while it's being made and then while it's out to sea. I mean, those are jobs. Those are things we do. And we can't sit and rest on our laurel. We can't. You know? If we get weak one of these days, somebody like Russia, China, there's a whole bunch of a-holes out there. They will just sweep in and seize control. You don't think it could happen, but it can happen. It's in the realm of possibility. There are people with big armies and big militaries. And if ours gets small, well, whatever. I guess some of the people in power have deals in place so they can prosper under the puppet government. That's my puppet mind right there. I mean, that's just, mark my words. That could happen. That happened in other countries throughout history. I mean, do you really think that the Romans really thought that their empire would fall? The Egyptians? No. The British? In modern times. Look it up. Look at how many territories Britain lost. You know, you go to World War II and you see just a dynamic shift in these empires. So it can happen. It's happened in people's lifetime. People who are alive right now saw things like the British Empire just kind of go, poof. You know, good or bad. That's not the point. Whether it was good or bad, I'm not saying anything because I don't. You know, that's just the way it was. I mean, that's what happens when you let, you know, the shit get out. You know, the shit hit the fan. Well, you know, we don't want to be aiming at the fan. That's the whole point. You know, and another part of this bill that they propose is to free federal prisoners. Like over a certain age with asthma, with diabetes. And the only way that people could be kept inside, according to what I heard on the news, was if they could prove that they would pose a risk to a particular person. Not society as a whole. A particular person. So I don't, you know, to get their votes too, I guess. Or is it more nefarious and they want the chaos? Maybe crime's just down. Maybe crime has changed. I don't know. I don't know what direction they're trying to pull it. But they're going to sit up in their gated ivory towers. Either way, they're going to be safe. The rest of us, we just, you know, they're just going to sit back and watch chaos rain down on decent folk like us. People who are just trying to make a living. Trying to get a little more like living 2 paychecks by 2 paychecks or something. You know, instead of paycheck to paycheck, maybe you're putting a paycheck away. Maybe you're building towards something. Maybe you feel like there's an opportunity for you out there. That's what was promised here, right? But they're enjoying what's going on right now. I mean, maybe not on a personal level. Maybe they you know, like everything, but again, regretting the fact that somebody died of COVID is no different than regretting that somebody died of anything. You know, that's the truth. It doesn't matter. I mean, people are still dying from opiates out there. People are still dying in needless car crashes, you know. But they want a majority of Americans unemployed and receiving government checks. And all of them, you know, that's what they're showing right now. See, because the way it works is they want something like 40% paying for 60%. Because either way, they're collecting a huge salary. So they're going to have enough money. So how it all ends up for the rest of us is really immaterial, you know? But they want to keep you on those checks so that you feel like you have to vote for them. And, you know, the whole idea of guaranteed living wages, the only other people who ever had that were slaves, and they were guaranteed nothing. And we don't want to live that way. We don't want to live in a metaphoric condition like that, where we are beholden to people to get our money, and we're beholden to a smaller portion who have to pay for everybody else. You know, we don't want to do that. There's too many people here. There's too many people that would mooch the system. This would be a nightmare for us, you know? But, you know, so how, if they're not going to be getting taxes off of us, how are they going to make their money? You know, they raise property taxes, sales taxes, gas taxes. Pretty soon, the rich column gets bigger as the middle class shrinks away and either goes poor or rich, you know? But that's what they want. Like, they get so overjoyed about trying to live like these European countries. It's just bizarre to me. But slowly, they'll take our homes and then rent them back to us. You know, the media continues to pump our need for goods and services. You know, they want us all. I mean, everybody's willing to pay more money and have it delivered now. Like, come on. Like, they're just, you see how this is going here. This is, you know, and the funny thing is if everybody goes takeout and restaurants as a whole, like, are shut down, so it's all carry out. You know who you don't need? You don't really necessarily need a bunch of dishwashers. You don't need the people who are supporting the chef or the cook or whatever. You don't need those people. You know? So that kind of thing's going to disappear. But they want us to vote one way consistently so that it becomes a one-party country, ruled by fear, intimidation, lies. And then the kings and the queens can do as they please. Whatever they want. Because we don't have anything. I mean, if this goes the way it can go, they're trying to seize total power. Slowly but surely. Look at, they're eroding free speech. And they're eroding free speech on party opposition. So people who are talking about some of the things that are going on, if you're on the wrong side of the wall, then your comments get taken down. Things happen. And that's not free speech. That's the pure definition of the opposite of free speech. You know? Just get your government check. You don't have to work, but more and more of it is just going to go to maintaining your life. How fun is that? I mean, they used to have in South Africa beaches that were segregated. And that's what they want here. That's the same sort of thing they want for everything. Rich and poor. Keep them in a certain place. That's why they love public transport. That way, if they ever want to do anything, they just, boom, cut the line. Nobody can get home. That's all you do. All you have to do here is start imposing fees on things that used to be free. You start making things too expensive so people can't get there. And then pretty soon, all of California, which is one of the most beautiful states. I mean, it depends on what you want, but if you want what's here, it really doesn't get much better. I mean, I've been other places, and I'm not saying anything bad about any places, but I mean, you know, we have a beach, you know, we have the mountains, blah, 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 blah. But those are all things the rich want just completely by themselves. It's straw time. But they can, that's why they want things like universal one-pay insurance schemes. They want us tied to them. They don't really like private real estate. They want it all controlled by companies. Companies who think of the so-called bigger picture and thus make decisions based on the bigger picture. You know, this is a socialist type of mandate. That's what it is. You know, if given the chance, that's what it'll become. Oh, the motorcycles are too noisy, so then they just ban them in the interest of safety. They're doing it with cars already. But you got to remember, they idolized as youngsters like Guevara and Mao and Castro and Marx, Lenin. People like that. Like, they didn't get that, like, just because you took power away from, say, a king and turned it into a communist country, you really did anything. I don't understand why people would idolize that. But that's why they have that consistent attack on the Second Amendment. They pass laws that make us defenseless against a rogue government. That's it. It does nothing to stem crime. It doesn't seem to stop anybody. But they love crime, and they love all that because it keeps us scared, suckling off their little teeth. Our founding fathers used firearms to hunt and defend their homes in certain areas, primarily. But the reason it exists in there is to protect us from the people we elect to serve us. They're not serving us. They're serving their own interest. And one side is just like wants to go about it like doop, 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 doop. And the other side wants to become this like oppressive state where they control everything in our greater good. That's crazy. That's why it's there, to protect us from them. To say, remember, if you really start acting loony, 1776 all over again, And that's not like call to arms. But it's a metaphor for what's going to happen. They want us just to do the menial tasks. They want us to just succeed. And then they want to set up this royal family to rule over all of the suckers they sucked in. Bottom line, they just want the Constitution gone. Because the more freedom we have, the more we look out for ourselves, the less we need the government. And tyrants need to be needed. They need to be needed. Man. I just wanted to keep it light and breezy this week, man. I really did. But why? Why do they have to just... Anyway, be kind to yourselves. Peace.